everyone, and welcome back to the Recession Resistant Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Brandon Cobb, co-founder of HBG Capital, and I'm excited about today's episode. I'm going to tell you my story about masterminds. I've been a part of a ton of different masterminds, and I've really figured out how to work these things to squeeze as much milk out of the rock as humanly possible. And I'm excited to share you exactly what a mastermind is, how it can benefit you, how it's benefited me in the past, and some of the stories. And then if you're thinking about joining a mastermind or you're already part of a mastermind, the steps you can take to just squeeze and leverage as much of other people's time and experience to really blow your business up. But before we jump in, if you've been interested in learning more about passive income from real estate while letting other people do all the heavy lifting, then go to our website, hbgcapital.net. Sign up for an introductory call. We look forward to getting to know you. And if you feel like you get value from these episodes, please take a moment and leave us a review. It is the podcast currency, and we appreciate it. All right, jumping into this. So my story is I was in business for 1 year, flipping houses and wholesaling houses before I ended up joining a mastermind. And I found the mastermind through one of the vendors that we were looking at hiring, who had this technology where you could take a picture of a home as you're driving by it, and it would send a letter automatically over to, whoever owned the home. And they would, like call you and say, hey, I want to sell a house. It's Driving for Dollars app, something like that. And I remember talking to the owner of this app, and he was telling me about a company in Chattanooga that was using it and having a lot of success, and what they, said, hey, they're part of this mastermind group. And I was like, what is a mastermind group? And he said, oh, go check it out. Here's the website. And he sent me to the website, and it was all these testimonials from all these real estate investors that were wholesaling and flipping houses. And on there, I saw a family friend whom I know. It was my uncle-in-law's wife, sister. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know her. I got to call her. And so I called her up, and, she took the time to speak with me and just opened my eyes. And I was like, dude, we've got to do this. And so then it was up to me to convince my partner. I was able to convince him, because it just so happens that someone that he knew was also on that website giving a testimonial. And he's like, we got to join this, because these were people that were doing things at a very high level, and that's what we wanted to do. So we forked over the $25,000 to join this mastermind. And let me tell you, we got our money back in about 5 weeks. So for those of you who don't know what a mastermind is usually a group of people with some underlying something in value in common. So it could be that they're all wholesaling and house flipping people, like what our mastermind was. I'm part of another mastermind where it's a bunch of different entrepreneurs doing things at like a pretty big level. It's a bunch of CEOs. I'm a part of another mastermind that it's all people who are focused on raising capital. Like, that's all we talk about. And so when I joined this group, I was already working on a lot of different nuances of the business, fine-tuning our marketing plan, coming up with the perfect mailer to elicit the highest response, finding the vendor who could give me the best pricing on our 40,000 mailers that we're sending out a month. I was trying to figure out how to hire a project manager. I was looking for an onboarding guide. I was doing all these things myself. And if you don't know me, I'm a big who, not how fan. I was in the moment trying to figure out how. Like, I was taking QuickBooks classes. I was taking John Martinez sales courses. Like, I was trying the how of everything. And what you do in a mastermind, or at least this particular mastermind, is on one of the days they do something called hot seats, where they divide people up into rooms. There's probably 20 people per room, and everyone gets about 30 minutes to get up, do a very brief presentation of your business, where you're at, how much revenue you're doing. And then the bulk of the business is talking about, one, what you're really good at. We call it a give and a take. A give is something that's working really well for you that you feel like you want to give to everybody else, right? It's the secret sauce that you would think you want to hold to yourself, but just give it away, because the giving comes back in tenfold. And then the majority of it is spent on, the take. Like, what do you need? Where are the gaps? And the first time I went to one of these mastermind meetings, And this one person was like, dude, you got to hire somebody to answer all your phone calls. You don't have to be answering all the phone calls and doing the project management and going all the appointments and managing all the finances and hiring people. Like, no, dude, that's too much. Just make this one hire. And I was like, okay, well, how do I do that? Is there somebody I could talk to that's made this hire? And they're like, yeah, I have. Come speak to me afterwards and we'll go connect with coffee. And this person was able to give me the entire onboarding guide that probably just sitting down and making it would have probably taken me 8 hours to do. And then we're not talking about like the 2 years it would spend perfecting this onboarding guide with systems and processes. They literally took like 2 years of experience building this amazing document and just gave it to me. And all I had to do was just switch out little bits and pieces of information about our company, and like it was done. So there was huge value in being able to leverage other people's time that they spend on things. And you do the same. I had built a few things myself that I was very proud of. I had a really cool mailer and it had a really high response rate. I found out that was another great benefit of in a mastermind is you can compare your results to other people and see like, hey, am I doing really good? Or is there room for improvement? Like what is a good metric? And marketing results were one of the things that I was very interested in comparing to everyone else. And it turned out that I had a really good mailer and everybody wanted that. They're like, you got this response rate? Holy crap. Like, what are you using? So I would show them and they'd get all excited and they would call me back several months later and be like, dude, this thing works. Holy crap. This is awesome. How'd you come up with this? So everybody in the mastermind is good at something, even if you don't think you are. And being able to share that is what makes the mastermind community work. It's the culture of giving without the intention of receiving. And it creates this amazing, really beautiful environment of all these people sharing these great ideas with each other. And there's just the exponential learning curve is there. You don't want to be the pioneer. The pioneer are the people who have the arrows in their back. Go down the paths of the pioneers. That's what I did. All I did was identify the people who were where I wanted to be and literally just go like grab them, turn them upside down, and just shake all the knowledge out of them as much as humanly possible. And that's what has allowed us to grow and scale so quick is I just put myself in rooms with people who are way smarter than me, way more successful than me. And I try to figure out ways to add value to them. And it works every single time. So go down the beaten path, leverage other people's successes, make sure that when you're trying to do something, you're aligning your efforts with or your motivations to try to get to know somebody or gain knowledge from someone who's actually doing what you want to do. I think a big mistake I see a lot of times is people are getting the information from people who are not doing what they want to do. So if you break your leg, don't go to your brother who's a concrete guy and ask him what to do. Go to a doctor, right? Kind of common sense, but I see us make that mistake a lot of times, especially when starting a business. I had some people come to me and quite frequently people come to me and they go, hey, I got this business idea, I'm looking for investors, I want to do this. And I just got to tell them I don't know anything about the mobile bar business. I don't. I could probably teach you some things on how to build culture once you have some employees or how to hire A+ rock stars or the recipe for a perfect partnership if you're going to partner with somebody. But I don't know the first thing. You need to go find someone who's already done that, who've already built a big, giant mobile bar businesses and has been successful at it. That's what you need. So make sure you're leveraging other people's successes and it's the right people. Another great benefit that we've gotten from mastermind groups are the discounts. I remember when I joined my first mastermind group, we were paying 55 cents per mailer and we were sending, I think at the time we were sending 20,000 mailers a month out. So it was, I don't know what the math on that is. What's 55 cents on 20,000? Somewhere around $11,000, let's call it. And that was per month. So $11,000 per month, 6-7 years ago. And I remember someone in the group found a vendor that was paying 46 cents for the exact same service, 10 cents cheaper, which might not seem like a lot, but 10 cents on 20,000, I think that's $2,000. I'm an athlete, not a mathlete. Double check me, but $2,000 a month in savings times 12 months, that's $24,000. That one little introduction that that person was able to give me in the mastermind group literally paid for my entire mastermind yearly membership. Like that one little thing. And then everything else, all the other knowledge that I got off of it was all gravy. So there's some significant group discounts that can happen if the owner of the mastermind is leveraging it the right way. And finally, one of the best reasons to join a mastermind is you're going to have people that you can share your experience with that are on the same journey as you. We all know that entrepreneurship can get really lonely, and a lot of times you want to quit. A lot of times you don't think that you're going to be able to make it, quite frankly. I can't tell you how many times when we were in the scaling phase before things stabilized, how many times I wanted to quit because I hadn't done enough reps yet to really build the leadership muscle. I hadn't done the reps yet to build the entrepreneur muscle. And man, those reps were hard. I mean, it was hard. Like I wanted to quit so many times, and having the group around me that was on the same journey, similar businesses, going through the same struggles, we were able to call each other and talk about it and know that, hey, we're not alone in this. Like, the issues that I'm having are the same issues you're having. And hopefully you find somebody that used to have those issues and solved them, and they can give you the magic key to do that, which would happen on occasion. And it was a great thing, but you need the emotional support, not just from your friends and family, but from people who are on the same journey as you. It's very important. And I try to do that to this day. Now I try to connect with other fund managers. I try to connect with as many builders as possible. And my main goal is to understand what their needs and wants are and obstacles in order to get to where they're going and how I can help. Because when you figure out who is it? I think Zig Ziglar said, if you can figure out how to give enough people what they want, you can get what you want, but you can't have any kind of expectations or anticipate getting anything in return. That's what I'm trying to do, because all of my success has just come from my network. It's getting out there and helping people get what they want. We said a lot here. We'll leave it at that today. Again, thanks for tuning in. If you feel like you get value from these, please take a moment and leave us a review. Till next time.